Hello, Facebook. Any requests while we're waiting on Zoom? Hi, Janice. Nadia, I'm going to unmute you. Oh, were you wanting to? Hi, Monique. Hi, Sherry.
Balance pose where you're laying on your back out to the side.
Balance pose where you're laying on your back and you take your leg out to the side? Yep. Okay, that's already on the agenda. Hi, Myrna. Hi, Catherine. Nice to see you. So as you get ready, please make your way into a good seat. As usual, hi Monique, you'll want to have a blanket and also something that you can sit on comfortably. And then adjust your seat by turning your thighs in with your hands. Take the fingertips down on the ground beside you, and as you lightly push down with the fingertips, lengthen the sides of the torso from the outer hips through the sides of the rib cage to the armpits. Move the top of the upper arm bones back. Soften the jaw and the eyes. And then keeping the length through the torso, up or down on your legs. So now it brings in a toy. So we'll see if she's disturbing. I'll get her to leave. So, one of the focuses for me at this time really is the breath and recognizing the importance of the breath. And so as I get into and pay attention to my own breath, that's encouragement for the world as a whole to breathe. There's an understanding in yoga that we are being breathed as much as breathing, that the world is moving the breath in and drawing it out as much as we are on a mystical level. The Latin word for the inhalation or the inspiration the root of it is to breathe into or to breathe upon. And so as we practice tonight, I would like us to consider what it is that we want to breathe into or bring more fully into presence. So when we breathe into something, we give it life, we give it space, we give it aliveness. And so at any moment in time, with our intention and the power of our in-breath, we can bring something to life inside us. So depending on our own needs in any given moment, we can into whatever it is we're needing and invite that to expand and be more present. So as we practice tonight, that's the invitation, and we'll do some breath work at various moments in the practice to invite that to be more present. So close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, place one hand around the belly, sort of over the navel, and the other hand across the chest. And take a moment to ask yourself the question, what do I want to breathe into tonight? What do I want to bring alive and expand through the practice? And when we ask questions like this, there's no requirement to have a specific answer. In fact, sometimes just asking the question is sufficient. Now, begin to breathe in this way with the inhale. First, against the bottom hand, and then move the chest out against the top hand. As you exhale, move the chest away from the top hand and the belly back away from the bottom hand. Simply expanding the breath slightly in this way. Inhale into the bottom hand and then the top. Exhale, top hand, bottom hand. And notice, as you do that there's a natural but specific invitation to lengthen the breath slightly. For the last cycle or two of breath like this, just recognize that the breath is this very intimate exchange between the world around us and the world inside us. That with each breath in, the world is being brought into us. And as we exhale, we're releasing part of ourselves out into the collective. And then after your next exhalation, join your hands together at your heart. Touch the thumbs against the center of the chest. But continue to move the breath as you were when your hand was on the belly and the chest. Feel into what you are breathing into, what you are inviting to come more fully into presence through the practice. And then we'll seal that intention with one Om. Take a full breath in. Bow your head to your heart. Release your hands. Lift your head. And then come into whatever comfortable position allows you to stay seated for a few moments more. So if you've been sitting with your legs crossed, you might want to change the cross of your legs. Alternatively, you could come and sit on your heels or in between the heels. So you just want to find a position that allows you to sit with the torso relatively lengthened. And then from here, stretch the arms out to the sides with the palms turned down. As you inhale, from the shoulder sockets, rotate the entire arms so that the palms turn up, and even roll the thumbs a little down toward the wall behind you. Exhale. Turn the arms the other way so the tops of the shoulders roll slightly forward and the palms face down or even back toward the wall behind you. A couple more times. Inhale, rotate the entire arms out and up. Feel the lift of the chest as you do that. Exhale, round the arms, the shoulders forward, turning the palms back. Feel the upper back widen. One more time in each direction. Inhale. Exhale. And then release the arms down to the sides. Inhale, stretch just your left arm out at shoulder height. Rotate the entire left arm so that the palm faces up, and you can stay there, or if it works for your shoulders, stretch the left arm up alongside the left ear. Lengthen from your left hip all the way along the left side of the torso. Take your right hand beside your right hip. Walk it over to the right and side bend to the right. Sink the left sitting bone down. Lengthen along the left side of the torso. And if the left arm is overhead, reach out through your fingertips. If the left arm is at shoulder height, you're stretching out as well, but just in a slightly different plane. One more breath. And then inhale the left arm up, exhale, down, and then we'll change sides. So take the right arm out to the right at shoulder height, rotate at the shoulder joint, turn the whole arm up, and then walking the left hand straight out to the left from the left hip. Reach the right arm up if you're doing that, and then lean over to the right. Sink the right hip down into the earth. Lengthen all the way out along the right side of the torso. And breathe a little bit more into the right side of the rib cage. So just slightly intend the breath to create more space and width there. And then inhale, back up. Exhale, that arm down. From, again, whatever sitting position you're in, either place your hands on your hips with your elbows pointing back, or interlace the fingers behind you, if that's available. Wherever you are, keep the elbows bent, and point the elbows straight back toward the wall behind you. So they come in slightly, but not a lot. Now as you press the elbows back, press the shoulder blades forward, curl the center of the heart up, take your head back, and then just as much as your neck is comfortable with, lift the chin. More significantly, curl the heart up, lift the chin, look up a bit, and then bring the head back down, exhale. Change the interlacing of the fingers if they're interlaced behind your back. Rest the thumbs on the back of the pelvis. Squeeze the elbows in just enough that they point straight back behind you. Move the head back. Press the shoulder blades forward. And now inhale, lift the center of the chest up. And then lift the chin. Look some amount. Breathe here into the upper half of the chest. So really from underneath the breast line up to the collarbones, curl the chest up with the breath in. And keep the lift as best you can as you exhale. And then head down and come and lie on your back with your head supported with a blanket. If you have a yoga strap or belt, then you could have that with you. You don't need it. I'll always give other options. So with the head supported so that the forehead slopes slightly down toward the heart. Bend the knees, place the feet on the ground.
And take the feet a little wider apart so that the knees come in toward each other, and you can touch the knees together if you like. Now place the hands on the sides of the rib cage. Keep the low belly a little quiet. Soften the throat and the jaw. Now, just for a couple of cycles, we're going to widen and lift the rib cage with the inhale. So keeping the navel down, quiet. Exhale. Without lifting the navel, inhale, lift up the rib cage and widen the rib cage apart. Exhale, release. Keep the navel quiet. Inhale, lift the rib cage up and widen it apart, taking a full breath into the ribs. Exhale. 2 or 3 more times, keep the jaw soft and relaxed. Inhale, deep full breath into the rib cage, lifting and widening the rib cage. Exhale completely. 2 more. Last one. So when you've finished your exhalation, relax. So you can keep the left leg bent, or you can stretch it straight on the ground for the supine leg stretch, Supta Padangusthasana. So either left leg bent or left leg straight. Bend your right leg in, catch the back of the right thigh with your hands, or put the belt around the ball of the right foot. If you have the leg with your hands, especially flex the foot and push the heel toward the wall that you can see, and then stretch the heel up toward the ceiling, pressing the right thigh into the hands. If you have the belt on the foot, then push the ball of the foot firmly into the belt. Wherever you are, curve the lower back slightly away from the ground. Push out through the heel. And now if your right leg is straight, you could draw it in toward the torso a little bit more, keeping a small curve in the lower back. If your leg is not yet straight today, work at it being straight. 1 more breath here. And then bend. Release the hands, put the right foot on the ground. Either stretch the right leg out straight or keep it bent. And then the second side. Draw the left leg in, catch the back of the thigh, or put the belt around the heel. Breathe. As you continue to breathe, push the left heel away from you if you have the back of the leg with your hands. Or if you have the belt, push the ball of the foot into the belt. And then stretch the leg straight, pressing the top of the left thigh away from you. Hollow out the lower back so that there's a little curve there. Push out through the sole of the left foot and press the left thigh firmly into the hands. Breathe into whatever you're wanting the practice to do for you tonight. So you might breathe into a sense of ease or relaxation. You might breathe into a sense of effort or stretch. Inhale, exhale, bend that leg. Release, place both feet on the ground. Cross the right ankle on the left thigh for the number 4 position, or Sucharandrasana. So here, keep the weight even across the back of the pelvis. Use your right hand on your right thigh to just lightly press the thigh or the knee away from you. Option 1 is to stay there. Option 2 is to release the right hand, lift the left knee in and catch the back of the thigh or around on the front of the shin. Breathe. Create a degree of effort in the practice that is useful, meaning perhaps make it easier or perhaps make it more intense. One of the ways you do that is if your left knee is in toward the chest, you move the knee away from you to ease off, or you draw the knee more toward the left shoulder to increase the intensity. Keep the weight even across the back of the pelvis, and take one more breath here. Release the hands. Put the left foot on the ground, uncross the right. Change sides. So crossing the left ankle on the right thigh. Either stay here just lightly, pressing the thigh away from you using your left hand, or lift the right knee in, catch the back of the leg. Pause. And in the pause of effort or action, breathe. And feel into the sensations that the pose creates. And then adjust in accordance to the messages of the body and your intention for the practice tonight. Move the left knee a little bit away from you. Possibly draw the right knee more in if the knee is toward the torso. And then releasing the hands. Put the foot on the ground, uncross. Now we're going to take the right leg out to the right. So you can again do this with the left leg bent or the left leg straight. So draw the left knee and catch the back of the thigh with the hands, or put the belt around the ball of the foot. Stretch the right leg straight. Now glue your left hip very firmly down, so under no circumstances are you letting the left hip lift. Release the left hand if you've got the leg with both hands, so you're now holding your right leg just with your right hand. Turn the whole leg to the side, and then everybody open the right leg out to the right. So if you're using your hand, you can support the leg at the thigh or at the knee or at the calf. If you have the belt, you're using the belt to give the arm, to use the assistance of the arm to hold the leg. But mostly hold the leg with the effort of the leg. So tense the muscles on the outside of the right hip. And then inhale, use your arms to help the leg come back up. Exhale and release. And then change sides. So left knee in, put the belt around the ball of the foot or catch the heel, catch the thigh. Stretch the leg straight. Hold the left leg with the left hand only as needed. And then take the left leg out to the left. Keep the right hip heavy. Extend out through the inside edge of the left leg from the inner thigh to the inner heel. Breathe. One more breath. Now inhale that leg up. Exhale, release. Now we're going to do the same thing with no hands. So place your hands at your hips or out to the sides with the palms up. Bend the right knee toward the chest. Stretch the right leg straight. So again, you could do this with the left leg straight on the ground or bent. Now draw the leg in toward you, keeping the leg as straight as possible. Draw it in toward you. Turn the whole leg out. And now without letting your left hip lift, and without using your hands, take your right leg to the right. Extend out through the inside edge of the right leg. Soften the jaw and the eyes. Go just a tiny bit lower. And then inhale, bring that leg back up. Exhale, bend and release. Change sides. So right leg straight or right leg bent. Stretch the left leg straight. Make it as straight as possible. And if it's straight, perhaps draw it in a little bit more toward the torso. Turn the whole leg to the left. And now gluing your right hip down, take the leg out to the side. So feel into the strength needed in the legs and in the abdomen, but keep the jaw relaxed, the neck relaxed. One more breath. Go a little lower and back up. Bend and release. Roll all the way over to your right side. You can move the blanket and come to your hands and knees. So, from your hands and knees, either child's pose or downward facing dog. So if you're doing child's pose, sit toward the heels, stretch the hands forward, release the head down. Support the head with something. If you're doing downward facing dog, separate the hands shoulder distance apart, curl the toes under, lift the hips up, and come into the pose. Press the knuckles at the base of the first fingers and the heels of the thumbs down into the ground if you're doing downward facing dog. Slightly bend the elbows and turn the triceps toward the sides of the face. Now in whatever position you're in, draw the hips back away from the hands. And as you draw the hips back away from the hands, feel the low belly move in toward the back of the pelvis. And lengthen the sides of the torso from the outer hips to the armpits. So if you're in child's pose, come to your hands and knees, and then everybody inhale, step the right foot up beside the right hand, lunge. So with the front knee over the front heel, lift the top of the back thigh up, squeeze your legs together a little bit so that you fire up the muscles of the outer hips and the buttocks. And then lengthen from the right hip to the right armpit. Turn the left hand slightly to the left, and then either put your right hand on your right hip, or you'll stretch it up in a moment. So turn the torso to the right, twisting lunge. As you turn the torso to the right, draw the left shoulder blade away from your left ear. And if your shoulder's okay, stretch the right arm straight up in the air. Inhale here. Exhale, sweep the top hand down. Step back onto your hands and knees or downward facing dog. And then change sides. So inhale the left foot all the way up beside the left hand. Make your right leg really strong and straight. With your front knee over your front heel. Draw your left hip in until your left sitting bone lines up with your left heel. Lengthen along the left side of the torso. Turn your right hand slightly to the right. Rotate the torso to the left. And then left hand on your left hip or left arm straight up in the air. Breathe. Draw the shoulder blades away from your ears. Lift your chin a little bit. Take your head back, curl your heart up. And then sweep the top hand down. And now step the back foot forward, standing forward bend. Separate your feet several inches apart. And go a little wider if the legs are less able to straighten here. Take the heels as wide as the baby toes. Bend the knees enough that your fingertips touch the ground and release the head down. Now if your knees are bent, push your heels apart and begin to stretch the legs straighter.
If your legs are straight, squeeze the outer hips together and scoop the low belly back away from the tops of the thighs. Stretch the crown of the head toward the ground. One more breath. Bend the knees a little bit. Place your hands on your hips, lift your chin. Inhale, stand up. Exhale. Release the arms and turn to face the short edge of the mat. The long edge of the mat. From here, inhale, step the feet really wide apart. We're going to do a position that's sometimes called horse pose or sometimes called goddess pose. So with the feet wide apart, put your hands on your hips for the moment. And then turn your feet out a comfortable amount, so probably at about 45 degrees. And then bend the knees and angle your knees straight out over your middle toes. Drop the sitting bones down toward the earth. And if you can turn your feet out a little bit more, turn your feet out a little bit more. Just make sure that the knees stay over the middle toes, so the knees don't drop in, which is the tendency. From here, stretch the arms to the sides and drop the hands just slightly below the tops of the shoulders. Turn the palms up so that you're making stop signs with your hands. And then with the shoulder blades away from the ears, now push out through the heel of the right hand and drop your left knee toward your left ear toward your left shoulder. Inhale, head up. Push out through the heel of the left hand, drop your right ear toward your right shoulder. Head back up, one more time on each side. So push out through the heel of the right hand, drop your ear to your left shoulder. And then head up, and then the other side. So push out through the left hand, drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Good, head up. Now engage the muscles of the buttocks, push into the heels, inhale, stretch the legs straighter, turn the feet, and then step the feet together. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Inhale, step the feet really wide apart. Turn the left foot slightly in. Take the right leg and foot out. Inhale the arms out to the sides at shoulder height. Rotate the entire arms like we did earlier so that the palms face up and the thumbs turn even slightly down toward the ground behind you. Send the shoulder blades. Squeeze the shoulder blades slightly in toward the spine. And now, without changing the rotation of the upper arms, turn just your palms toward the ground. Inhale here. Exhale, reach out through your left hand and bend your right knee deeply. As you bend your right knee, keep reaching back through your left hand. Push your left heel down. Turn your front knee to face the middle toes of your front foot. And then with the shoulder blades down, rotate your head and look at fingertips. Reach out through your left hand as you do that. Push into both heels. Inhale, stretch the right leg straight. Turn the feet. Exhale, lower the arms. And then the other side. So turn the right foot in, left leg and foot out. Push down into your back heel. Inhale the arms to shoulder height. Exhale, rotate the entire arm so that the palms face up. And notice how there's a little lift in the chest as you do that. Keeping the lift in the chest, turn only your hands down. Now reach out through your right fingertips. Exhale, bend your left knee. Push your right heel strongly down. Aim your front knee toward your middle toes. Reach out through the right fingertips and keeping the shoulder blades away from the ears, rotate the head and look out past your left fingers. 2 more breaths. Push into both heels. Use the strength of your legs. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower your arms. Turn your feet. Inhale, step your feet together. Extended side angle. Parsvakonasana. Inhale, step or lightly hop the feet really wide apart. Just like we did in the previous pose, turn the left foot slightly in. Rotate the right leg and foot out. Inhale the arms to the sides. Exhale, turn the entire arms up. And feel how that curls from underneath the armpits up to the collarbones, and there's a lift in the chest. Breathe into that. Turn just the palms down. Exhale, bend your front knee. Drop your right forearm to your thigh, stretch your left arm up, or put your left hand on your hip if that's better for the shoulder. And if you prefer, you could go right into the right hand down on the inside edge of your front foot. So wherever you are, drop your right shoulder blade down. With the right shoulder blade down, push more into your right heel and hug your right hip underneath you. Then pressing into the back heel, curl the center of the chest up. And if your left arm is straight up in the air, now turn the whole arm toward your head and lower it over the ear with the palm facing down. One more breath. Now pushing into both heels, inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, turn the feet, lower the arms. And then the second side. So turn the right foot in slightly. Take the left leg and foot out. Inhale the arms to the sides. Exhale, roll the whole arms up. And then turn just the palms down. Inhale here. Exhale, deeply bend the left knee. Left forearm to the thigh, right hand to the hip, or right arm straight up. Again, you can come right down into the pose if you prefer. Push into your back heel strongly. Bend your front knee deeply and hug your left hip underneath you more. Now drop the left shoulder blade strongly and lift the center of the chest up. Take the head back a little bit. And then if the right arm is up in the air, rotate the whole arm toward your head and lower it over the ear, palm down. Breathe into the pose. Inhale really into the upper chest. Exhale. And now pushing into both heels. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, turn the feet, lower the arms, and inhale, step the feet right together. Standing side bend here. So with the inner edges of the feet touching, you can either put your right hand on your right hip or along your right thigh and stretch the left arm up. If your left arm doesn't go up alongside your ear, you can keep it on the shoulder. And if it's possible to take both arms up, then do that. So if both arms are up, really lengthen the sides of the torso. Let the shoulder blades lift. And if you can keep the arms straight, interlace the hands and point the first fingers up. Squeeze together. Especially squeeze the legs together so that the inner edges of the calves touch. Keeping that. As you exhale, shift your hips to the left and lean over to the right. Pushing into both heels. Keep shifting your hips to the left. And as you lean over to the right, now take your hands back a little bit behind you, whatever arm is overhead. If neither arm is overhead, then just think about lifting the chest up more. And now as you lift the chest up, take the head back a little bit and then lean over more. Pushing into both heels, inhale, come up. Exhale, let's just sweep the arms down for a moment. Readjust the legs in any way you need. And then inhale, second side. So take the arm position that you took on the first side. If your arms are overhead, change the interlacing of the fingers. Squeeze the legs together, inhale. And now as you exhale, shift the hips strongly to the right. Lean over to the left. Breathe. And now
Now pushing down into your right heel, lengthen along the right side of the torso. Squeeze both arms in, especially the left arm if both arms are overhead. And then take the arms back, the head back, and just a little bit lift the chest up. Now pushing down into both heels, inhale, come all the way up, reach the arms up, and then exhale, take the arms to the sides. So now we're going to come into extended side angle a second time. Inhale, step the feet really wide apart. Turn the left foot in, rotate the right leg and foot out. Inhale the arms to the sides. As we've been doing, exhale, rotate the whole arms so that the palms face up. Descend the shoulder blades and really curl here from under the armpits up to the collarbones. Take just the hands down. And now exhale, bend your front knee, pause here. Push your left heel down, point your right knee straight. Now lift up a bit on the right side, and as you exhale, reach out and lay the whole right side of your torso down on your thigh as much as you can. And then your right hand, you can hold your shin or your ankle. You can put your left hand on your hip. If you can touch the ground inside your right foot, you can also do that. Now keep pushing the left heel down, point your front knee out, and then lengthen the right side of the torso. Feel like you're doing a side bend to the left. So drop your left ribs, lengthen the right side of the torso. Now take your head back, lift the chest up, and if you can, stretch the left arm up alongside the left ear, up in the air or out alongside the ear. Push into both heels, inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, release the arms, turn the feet. And then the second side. So turn the right foot slightly in, left leg and foot out. Inhale the arms to the sides. Exhale, rotate the whole arms up and feel the lift in the chest that creates. Turn only the palms down. Inhaling here, exhale, deeply bend your left knee. Push your right heel down, point your left knee straight forward, and then really lay the left side of the torso down on the left thigh. Take your left hand down, your right hand to your hip. See if you can make all the space between the left side of your torso and your left thigh disappear. Now draw the shoulder blades down, dropping the right ribs down. Take the head back, press the shoulder blades forward, and then maybe right arm up, maybe right arm out alongside the right ear. One more breath here. And then pushing into both feet, inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, turn the feet, lower the arms, and then inhale, step the feet together. Chair pose, Utkatasana, powerful pose. So feet together, squeeze the legs in, bend the knees deeply, touch the fingertips to the ground, lift the chest, squeeze the legs in. So you can put your hands on your knees, you can put your hands on your hips, you can stretch the arms out with the palms down, or you can take the arms out. In whatever position you're in, shift the weight back into the heels. Squeeze the legs together, drop the tailbone, descend the shoulder blades. Now, regardless of the position you're in, curl from underneath the armpits up to the collarbones so that the upper chest lifts. Take your head back, lift your chin up. One more breath. Squeezing the outer hips together, push down into the heels, inhale, stand up. Exhale, arms down. One more standing pose, warrior one. Inhale, step the feet really wide apart. Put your hands on your hips. Turn your left foot in 60 degrees. Rotate your right leg and foot out 90 degrees. So in other words, swing your back leg around as much as possible to the right.
And then move your right foot enough to the right that you can bring the left side of the torso to face the short edge of the mat. And glue your left heel down. And then, keeping the back heel down, squeeze the legs together. Stretch the arms out to the sides. Rotate the entire arm so that the palms face up. So option 1, you stay here. Option 2, you stretch the arms alongside the ears. If the arms are alongside the ears and interlacing the fingers and pointing the first finger up means that your arms stay straight, and then that's the final position. Planting your back heel, exhale, deeply bend your front knee. Swing the left side of the rib cage more forward. Point your right knee straight over your middle toes. And now, lift up the low belly. Take the head back toward the wall behind you. Push the shoulder blades forward. Curl the center of the chest up. Lift the chin a bit. Look up. Depending on your neck, you could lift the chin a lot and look up. Push into both heels. Inhale, stretch the right leg straight. Exhale, turn the feet. Lower the arms. And line your toes up so that they're in preparation for the second side. Spin your right foot in 60 degrees. Rotate your left leg. Move your left foot to the left. Spin your right leg around more and bring the outside of your right hip, but especially the outside edge of your rib cage, more to face the short edge of the mat. Glue your back heel down. Inhale the arms to the sides. Exhale, rotate the whole arms up and feel how that lifts the chest. And then you keep that regardless of what position you take the arms in. So if you take the arms up, keep lifting the chest. Change the interlacing of the fingers if you interlace them on the first side. And now without moving the weight in the back heel, exhale, bend the front knee deeply. Sit down. Plant your back heel. Angle your front knee straight forward. Move the head back. And as you move the head back, zip up the low belly, curl the center of the chest up, maybe release the head, and look up. Breathe into the pose. And then pushing into your heels, inhale, stretch your front leg straight. Exhale, turn the feet. Release your arms, and inhale, step the feet together. Face the short edge of the mat. Separate the feet well. Line the outside edges of the feet up. Take a deep breath in. And now as you exhale, fold forward. You can bend the knees as you need to. Touch the fingertips to the ground. And for the first couple of breaths here, just find an easy position. So release the head completely. As you release the head completely, let the breath shift toward a less with rhythm. And then possibly just stay here, or if it works with your intention, push the heels more apart, stretch the legs straighter. If the legs are straight, squeeze the outer hips together. Peel up the low belly and fold the torso more deeply down over the legs. One more breath. Bend the knees a bit. Put your hands on your hips, lift your chin. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Release the arms. So we're going to do a forward bend now with the hands interlaced behind the back. So if that's not working for your shoulders, keep your hands on your hips. If you can interlace the hands behind your back, do that.
Maybe take the feet a little wider apart, unless you have quite a lot of capacity in the forward bend. And then inhale. Exhale, bend the knees quite deeply and fold all the way over. Let the torso rest against the thighs and place the thumbs against the back of the pelvis. So just like we did earlier, you're going to squeeze the elbows in just enough that they point straight up toward the ceiling. And that's whether your hands are on your hips or your hands are interlaced. Make sure that your torso and your thighs really are in contact. So that invites the breath to move into the back of the lungs, the back of the rib cage. So if your hands are interlaced and you would like to do more, you could then stretch the arms straighter. You want to keep a little bend in the elbows. And if your arms are straight, then you can release the arms a bit over the head, drawing your forehead toward your shins more. That's not necessary to get the benefit of the breath moving into the back of the lungs. Pushing into your heels, lift your chin. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, release the arms for a moment. We're going to do that one last time with the other interlacing of the hands. So changing the interlacing of the hands behind the back. Place the thumbs at the tailbone. Inhale, lift the chest up. Bend the knees deeply. Exhale, fold over so that your torso and your legs make contact. Let your head hang. Then bend the elbows again just enough that the points of the elbows face up. Stretch with the elbows pointing up. Bend the torso more deeply over the legs and breathe into the back of the lungs. So if you're going further here, then you would stretch the arms straight. Part one, keep a little bend in the elbows, and then as you exhale, let the shoulder blades lift. Release the head more. And take the arms more overhead. Again, that's not necessary to get the benefit of the breath moving into the back of the rib cage. One more breath. So either you can release the hands and stay here in standing forward bend for a couple of more breaths. You could then step back into either child's pose or downward facing dog. So if you're in downward facing dog, separate the hands. Weight down the knuckles at the base of the first fingers and the heels of the thumbs. Slightly bend the elbows and turn the triceps toward the face. So in child's pose or downward facing dog, really now pull the hips away from the wrists. If you're in the standing forward bend, stretch the legs a little straighter. And then squeezing the hips together, feel the low belly draw back toward the spine. One more breath. And then as you exhale, bend the knees to the ground. Lie all the way down on your stomach. Place your hands one on top of each other and rest the forehead against the hands. So we're going to do a couple of turns of the head. So with the arms in this position, release the shoulder blades away from the ears. And if having your arms in this position isn't a good idea for your shoulders, you could roll up your blanket and rest your forehead on your blanket so it's about the same height as the stacked hands. With the shoulder blades down, lift the forehead just slightly back off the hands. So you haven't lifted or dropped the chin, you've just moved your head back, more into the back plane of the body. And now from there, turn the head all the way to the right. Come back to center. Turn the head all the way to the left. Come back to center. Turn to to the right, back to center, turn to the left. One more time in each direction. You might be able to sense that the twist of the head or the turn of the head is coming from the base of the neck. And then when you're back to center, rest the forehead on the hands. Keep the arms like this. And now we're going to lift the head, chest, and the top hand. So right now I have my right hand on top of my left. So if possible, do that. And if it doesn't work for your arms, then you'll just have your arms in a comfortable position. So now scoop up the low belly, firm the muscles of the buttocks. Inhale, and lift the head, chest, and the right arm up. So you keep the arm and the head together, and then come down. We're going to do that 3 or 4 more times. Inhale up, lift up as much as possible. Exhale down. But keep the contact of the hand and the head, so we're not overusing the neck. One more time. And exhale down. Once you're down, change the position of the hands. So now you have the left hand on top. Scoop up the low belly, engage the muscles of the buttocks, descend the shoulder blades, and then moving as one unit, inhale, lift the head, chest, and the left arm. Exhale, come down. 3 more times. Last one. And then release your head. Put your forehead or chin on the ground. If it's available for your shoulders, extend the arms straight out alongside the ears with the palms turned in. If not, you'll have the arms in whatever position works, perhaps back by your legs. And we're going to lift the head, chest, the opposite arm and leg. So it's a little bit of a different experience if you're doing it with the arms at your sides, but it's still available. So scoop up the low belly, firm the muscles of the buttocks. We're going to lift the head, chest, the right arm, and the left leg. So with the next breath in, up you come. Head, chest, right arm, left leg. Exhale, come down. Change sides. Inhale, head, chest, left arm, right leg. Exhale, down. A few more times on each side. Inhale, head, chest, right arm, left leg. Exhale, come down. Inhale, head, chest, left arm, right leg. Exhale, down. One more time on each side. Inhale, right side, right arm, left leg. Exhale. Inhale, left arm, head, chest, right leg, and come down. Everybody take the arms back by your sides. Bring your chin or your forehead to center, but if it's possible for this one to bring your chin to the ground, bring your chin to the ground. And then even lift up your head. You can use your hands to help with this. It's kind of a funny thing, but to really lift the chin and lengthen the chin away from the chest. Now with your arms at your sides and the chin on the ground, we're going to lift up head, chest, arms, and legs. If it's not a good idea for your lower back to lift your legs, lift your head, chest, and your arms. So turn onto the center of the thighs. Scoop up the low belly. Engage the muscles of the buttocks. Exhale. Inhale. Lift up. Whatever is available. So head, chest, arms, maybe legs. Breathe. And as you inhale, lift the legs, lift the chest. Lift the chin a little bit. And then exhale and come down. Place your hands under your shoulders. Press onto your hands and knees. Have a turn over and lie on your back. So on your back here, bend your knees, place your feet on the ground. Bridge pose. We're going to do it, if it's possible, for you because of your space and your shoulders, to have the arms to the sides just below shoulder height. Do that. And bend the knees, place the feet on the ground. Curve the lower back. Lift the chin a tiny bit so that the plane of the face is parallel to the ceiling. So you haven't dropped the chin toward the chest, but it's not lifted so much that you have a greater than usual curve in the lower back. So now with the arms at the sides and the elbows a tiny bit bent, push into the heels, firm the muscles of the buttocks, and now as you inhale, lift the hips up. Scoop the tops of the shoulders underneath you. So you roll right to the very top of the shoulders. Lengthen the back of the neck, keeping the chin from dropping or lifting. Now with the arms to the sides, turn the whole arm so that you come more onto the knuckles at the bottom of your first fingers and onto the thumbs. Then push into the heels, lift the hips up a bit more. If you feel like your feet are sliding away from you, walk your feet a little closer in toward your hips or toward your shoulders. And then pushing into the heels, lift the hips up. Keep the knees pointing straight forward. Curl the chest toward the chin without dropping the chin. And then exhale and slowly come down. Release your arms to your sides. One more. So grab hold of the edges of your mat. If you have the capacity to catch your ankles here, you could hold your ankles with your arms. Push the heels down. Arch the lower back a little bit away from the ground. Make sure your face is parallel to the ceiling. And then pushing into the heels, lift the hips up. Tuck the tops of the shoulders underneath you. Push into the heels. Curl the hips up as high as possible. Keep the knees pointing straight forward. Now holding on to the edges of your mat or your ankles, turn the whole upper arms out and curl from under the armpits up to the collarbones. Lengthen the back of the neck without dropping the chin. And now curl the chest toward the chin. Push down into the heels, lift up, and now slowly exhale. Come all the way down. Take the blanket and place it behind your head. And then keeping the knees bent, just pause here. Feel into the breath. Feel into the impact of the practice to date so far. And notice what you're breathing into. Even where in the body you're breathing in. And also, toward what intention for your practice are you breathing into? So you could just stay here. And if you have two blocks, you could place them at the outsides of the hips. In lieu of blocks, you can make fists with your hands and put the fists against the outside of the hips. With the knees bent, open the knees to the side and join the soles of the feet together, Supta Baddha Konasana. Lightly push the heels together. Stretch the knees out. And rest the outside of the hips, either on the blocks if you have blocks, or of the fists of your hands. Relax the jaw and the eyes. Extend from the inner thighs, the inner groins, to the inner knees. Couple more breaths. And then using your hands, bring your knees up together. Pause for a moment. So we're going to do a couple more rounds of the breath that we did earlier, lifting and expanding the rib cage. So place the hands on the rib cage. Let the knees drop together to touch and keep a little curve in the lower back. Now, without moving the navel, exhale. Inhale, lift the rib cage up and widen it. Exhale. Long, slow, steady breath out. Keep the navel descended. Inhale, lift and widen the rib cage. Keep the throat and the jaw soft. Exhale, long, slow breath out. Navel quiet. Inhale, lift and widen the rib cage as much as possible. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, lift and widen the rib cage, filling up the rib cage with as much air as possible. And then exhale and release. So we're going to draw the leg into the supine leg stretch like we did earlier in the practice. So perhaps this time extend the left leg straight. You can keep the left leg bent if that's working better for you. Draw the right leg in. If you have a belt, you could put it around the ball of the foot or catch the back of the thigh. Stretch the leg up straight. As you push the heel toward the ceiling, if you're holding the back of the leg, or you push the ball of the foot into the belt if you're using the belt. Really focus on stretching the leg straight primarily. Once the leg is straight, maybe bring it a little more toward the torso, but keep a hollow at the lower back. Now gluing the left hip down, hold the belt or the right leg just with the right hand. Rotate the leg out, and now as you exhale, open it to the side. If you're holding the leg with the hand, take the hand closer to the foot so that the leg can come over the maximum amount while keeping the left hip down. Lengthen out along the inside edge of the right leg. And press the heel away from you if you're holding the leg with your hands, or push the ball of the foot into the belt if you're using the belt. Now use mostly your leg strength. Inhale, bring the leg back up. Exhale, bend and release. Change sides. So stretch the right leg straight on the ground if you're doing the leg straight this time. Press the back of this thigh down, the right leg down. Draw the left leg in. Catch the back of the leg with the hands or put the belt around the ball of the foot. Everybody stretch the leg straight. Soften the jaw and the eyes. Breathe. Keep an echo of the full breath that you had a moment ago when we were doing the breathing exercise. So in other words, let the breath lift and widen the rib cage as much as possible as you inhale, and a long, slow, steady exhale. Now, keeping the right hip on the ground, hold the left leg with the left hand, or the belt with the left hand, turn the leg out, and then as you exhale, open it to the side. Perhaps slide the left hand down the leg toward the foot. Glue the right hip down. Lengthen along the inside edge of the left leg. One more breath. And then inhale that leg back up. Exhale, bend, and release. So now roll all the way over onto your right side. And extend both legs out straight. One leg stacked on top of the other leg. So your right leg is underneath, your left leg is on top. And really be on the outside edge of the right foot. So you've tucked the baby toe under a little bit so that it's like a shelf. Then laying on your right side, this is Anantasana. Stretch the right arm out alongside the right ear so your head is supported by your arm. And just for a moment, stay here, right arm extended. And stack your left hand on top of your left hip. So you really want to focus on creating a straight line from your ankle to your hip, to your armpit, to your right hand. So as much as you can do that. So you could just stay here, or if it works for your head, now you're going to put your left hand in front of you. Bend the right elbow and rest the head on the right hand. So you want to keep as much length on the right side of the torso as possible and have no space from the right hip to the right armpit. Then bend your left knee, the top knee, and open it up toward the ceiling. As you point the knee toward the ceiling, you'll tend to roll back toward the left hip. So you want to keep the hips stacked one on top of the other. So now you're going to hold either the back of the thigh with your left hand, or if you can catch the foot, the big toe of the left foot with your left hand, then hold there. So wherever you are now, without rolling backwards, stretch the left leg straight up in the air. So now the foot is turned to face relatively toward your head. Stack your hips. Lift your chest. One more breath. And then exhale and come down. You're going to just roll to your other side. I'm going to turn around so I'm still facing the camera. So now you're going to stack your right leg on top of your left and line yourself up so that your ankles are in line with your left hip. And then stretch out along the left side of the torso. Release, stretch the left arm out. Release the head down. Tuck the baby toe side of the left foot underneath you. And then rest your your right hand on your right hip for a moment. And just find balance there. And then putting your right hand in front of you, perhaps if you're lifting your head, now bend the elbow, lift the head, rest the head on the left hand. Steady the bottom leg, bend the right leg, point the knee up. Again, watch the temptation to roll backwards. So stack your right hip on top of your left. Catch the back of the leg or maybe reach on the inside of the knee for the big toe. And then when you're ready, pushing out through the heel, stretch the leg straight up in the air with the foot turned toward the head. Watch the temptation to roll backwards, so stack the top hip on the bottom hip. Lengthen through the inside edge of that top leg. Lengthen the sides of the torso, especially the left side. One more breath. And then exhale and come down. Roll over onto your back. Grab the blanket for your head. From the back, cross the right knee over the left. Lift your hips up. Shift your hips to the right. Put your hips back down. A supine twist like this. Stretch the right arm out to the right palm up. And then letting the hips lift, but keeping the shoulder, the right shoulder down. Drop your knees to the left. Press your right hip away from you. Twist the torso to the right and reach out through your right fingertips. Inhale, lift the knees up, undo the legs, and then the other side. So cross the left ankle and the right thigh. Lift the hips up, shift the hips to the left. Stretch the left arm out at shoulder height, palm up. And now tip the knees over to the right. And twist the torso to the left. Press your left hip away from you. Spin the right side of the rib cage up toward the sky and drop the left side down and reach out through your left fingertips. Bring your head back to center. If you moved it, lift the hips up, uncross, place the feet on the ground. Just for a moment, you can draw the knees toward the chest. Keep the weight across the back of the pelvis. So even if the lower back is touching the ground, the weight is on the back of the pelvis. You can rock a little bit or shift around in whatever direction feels good. And then, as you're ready, bring the feet back down to the ground, and we're going to do one more round of the breath work before the final relaxation. So with the knees bent, drop the knees together to touch. There's no sense of tension in the jaw or in the eyes, and then it's really the diaphragm that's holding the breath, not the throat or the jaw. So with the head supported, close your eyes. Put your hands on your rib cage. Exhale. Draw the navel just a little bit down toward the ground. Hold it there lightly. And now inhale, lift up and widen the rib cage. At the end of the breath in, hold. Keep the lift and the width of the rib cage. And then long, slow, steady breath out. Tone the low belly. Maintain that. Inhale, lift and widen the rib cage. Hold. Exhale. Long, slow, steady breath out. A few more times like this. Inhale into the ribcage, lift up and widen, keeping the belly quiet. Hold at the top of the inhale. Long, steady breath out. Two more times. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Last one. with this exhalation. Pause for a moment. Feel into the current state of the body, mind, and the breath. And then from here, the final relaxation, Shavasana. So take whatever you need to lie down with comfort and ease. So be warm. Make sure that the backs of the knees are supported if the lower back is uncomfortable. Support the back of the head. And then come down, letting the legs turn open, sides. Take the arms to the sides. Turn the arms so that the palms face up. Or bend the elbows and place the hands lightly down on the torso. Support the back of the head, again with the blanket or the pillow. And then close your eyes. Make sure that you're in a very comfortable position that allows the body to move into rest. As the body settles and releases into the earth, soften the belly completely. Relax the throat, the jaw and the eyes. And release all tension in the face. Bring your attention to your breath. And we'll just extend the exhalation slightly for a few rounds in this way. So exhale completely. Pause. Exhale a little bit more. Pause. Long, slow, soft breath in. Exhale completely. Pause. Exhale a little bit more. Pause. Long, slow, steady breath in. Last one, exhale completely. Little pause. Exhale a little bit more. Little pause. Breath in. And release the breath completely. Meaning that you let the breath move of her own accord. And as you can, make the body pliable and open, receptive to the movement of the breath. And let the breath inspire you so that you
or the breath breathes into whatever is needed, whatever is nourishing, whatever is the intention for the practice right now. And allow the breath to gently fan that into presence, into aliveness within. And rest there. Very gently become aware of the breath, and then deepen the breath. The next breath in, bend the elbows and place the palms down on the torso for a moment. And then one at a time, bend the knees, place the feet on the floor, and supporting the head with the right arm as needed. Roll all the way to your right side. Pause. And then using your left hand, press yourself up. Come and sit. Taking a good seat for a moment, close your eyes. Join your hands together at your heart. May our our practice be a reminder to breathe into whatever it is that we need, whatever is nourishing, and whatever we want to bring into aliveness within. We'll close the practice with one Om. Take a deep breath in. Thank you. Namaste.